Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Level 1 Podcast Show. How are you all today? I'm doing pretty good because guess what? It is cool. It is cloudy. There is a nice autumn breeze coming in my window, and that always means that a good day of streaming is ahead. Autumn is one of my favorite seasons of the year, and I'm very happy to be not only fully fledged into this very busy gaming season, but now to finally have the seasonable weather, which should agree with all of the gaming that we'll be doing. That's a great thing. So how is everyone today? It is Monday, the 9th of October, 2023. And I hope that you're all in a good mood. And of course, if you're not, hopefully we'll get you there, right? Got a good amount of stuff to talk about today. Not gaming news, but some updates on various things that I'm in the midst of. For example, I do have an important update regarding Modern Warfare 3's beta that I played last night, and I really need feedback on this because I'm kind of confused, torn, and I don't really know what to do. So obviously, I will be able to get some feedback today live, and also from those of you who watch this on demand. I would absolutely love feedback because I am honestly very confused about what's going on right now with this beta. Okay? Or the game in general, I guess I should say. Today is an exciting day because today I will be finishing up, hopefully that is, if not one, two different game playthroughs that I've been doing over the course of, this month or last month. We got the Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC, which by all reports is short, except I'm 6 hours in and we're only at the end of Chapter 5 and it has 7 chapters. So it's not really short. Okay. Plus I'm playing hardcore. Plus I'm doing interactive streaming with you guys. So obviously it's taking me way longer than probably it took most people to get through this DLC. So that's why I put a whole separate daytime stream today to try to finish this up. I mean, the DLC has been good so far. I have no complaints. It's par for the course for what the Resident Evil 4 remake was earlier this year, which was really good. We're in the midst of a crazy boss fight. I only got to try it once so far, so take that on right from the get-go today, and then get further into the DLC and see how it goes. Hopefully we do beat it on the stream, right? And later tonight, we've got the conclusion of Lies of P. I'm literally at the end of the game, although here I am in the midst of the final boss/bosses, and I start reading messages on the videos from last stream. People are like, oh, you missed, you got to go back and get this weapon. I'm like, what? It's the end of the game. We're literally at the end of the game. And people are like, no, actually there's a secret weapon you need to go get. You didn't get it. So you need to get this because it's like very important that you get this for the playthrough. And I'm like, all right, so I guess that's what we're doing starting tonight. go figure this out. Because I think that I've triggered it. I've triggered the secret weapon. I can go get it now or whatever. I guess we'll figure this out and go from there. But yeah, I mean, that's great. 2 playthroughs that have been horror related, that are very difficult. Hardcore run of Separate Ways and Lies of P just is difficult. And to finally wrap those up today so we can focus on moving forward on more new stuff is a great thing, obviously. So, yeah, I'm pumped for today. It should be a pretty darn good streaming day with cooler weather, great games, good environment, usually a lot of great interaction and everything during these playthroughs. So, I'm feeling good about today. I am. It's a good streaming day on the horizon, as they say. I'm happy because my streams have improved quality for the past couple of days. I've been using this different streaming codec, and people are telling me the quality of my streams is much better. That's excellent, especially today. Now we're going to play these action-based games. You guys should see much better visuals, less pixelization, and more steady frame rate, especially if you're watching at the new 1440p quality. You should be able to experience that at its utmost, and I hope that the streams look better for you today, right? So that's a great thing. There's one negative about today. I have absolutely no idea why, but I woke up this morning with my post-nasal drip going absolutely crazy. Like, it would not stop. And I was like, what is happening here? It was really frustrating. My throat was completely, like, gunked up and filled with gunk, and it was just drip, drip, drip. Like, oh, my God. So I took an allergy pill this morning in the middle of October to try to get this to stop. I'm waiting for it to kick in. I had it about a half an hour ago. And I'm hoping that it does take effect. Man, I hate it. I hate having, gross medical conditions, honestly. And this is one of the ones that is just annoying because I can't really help it. I wake up sometimes randomly with it. What caused it? I don't know. I was asleep. How the hell would I know what would have caused it, you know? It's not like we have abnormal amounts of dust or dander in the house right now. We don't. I have the best air filters you can buy for my furnace, filtering the air in the house overnight. I don't know. It's just an annoying thing. So, you might hear me clearing my throat a lot today and stuff. Sucks. I hope that the allergy pill will kick in and stop it, because it is very frustrating, okay? Anyway, so, where do we start today? We don't have a lot. We have like one game news story to talk about today, so nothing major in that regard. There is an idea that someone came up with that I do want to address today regarding my scheduling of my streams. And I think it's an intriguing idea, but I don't necessarily know if it would work. So I want to discuss this with you guys today, okay? So, let's start talking about yesterday. Yesterday was a great day, in my opinion. We started off with the Level 1 podcast, which went really well. Nice and chill fun. And then after that, we had my React day, which is when we go over to my React channel, DSP React. And I do my weekly show, DSP versus the Internet. This is a clip show where people who are channel members submit clips for me to watch during the show. I really liked yesterday's show, and here's why. Tons of themed Halloween horror stuff. That was incredibly timely and pertinent. It made absolute sense to be having that kind of content right now. And I really enjoyed the show because of it. I like that. I hope that we can keep that pattern up, that as we go further into the year, we can have these themed weeks of things that are pertinent to that time of year. Like this month, the whole month will be horror, right? Next month, we can do things regarding Thanksgiving, but also, let's be honest, commercialism, Black Friday, all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm really excited to see what people come up with next month. And then, of course, Christmas is going to be great. I mean, there's got to be so many interesting Christmas-related things that people would want me to watch, so I'm pumped for that too. So, it's just actually, in my opinion, going to be one of the better times of the year for React content, especially that clip show. Earlier this year, when it's not themed, there's nothing really going on, it could be all over the place. But now we kind of know what to expect, you know, in the next, few months. You can always have this kind of fun-themed content. A piece of hair sticking out right there. Fun-themed content. And that'll be great. So I really enjoyed the show. I did have a couple problems. Problem number one of the videos wouldn't process for like 5-6 hours, and it made no sense. It's a half an hour long video. YouTube was just being stupid. It did eventually process it. The other problem was one of the segments yesterday, which I actually really enjoyed, was AI generated horror. Now, I don't know if it actually was like a horror story generated by AI, or if it was someone doing a parody of what they thought AI would do in a funny way. Either way, it was really entertaining. I thought it was a great segment. I upload the video. By the way, the stream had no problems. Zero. I upload the video to YouTube, and YouTube tells me, listen to this, that's not allowed. We're blocking your whole video. Now listen, I've already told you guys this, that when I do my React show every week, I make no money on it on demand. Why? The vast majority of the videos I upload of that show either immediately get flagged as ad unfriendly, which is stupid, and when I, dispute that, usually it gets fixed. The problem is it takes upwards of a week, so everyone's already watched it, okay? But the other thing is, tons of companies claim those videos. Even though you can argue, well, that's fair use. You're reacting to a video or content, you're adding commentary, criticism, that's fair use. You're right, but fair use only gives you the rights to do the content, not to monetize it. So those companies have the legal right to claim my videos and content on the React channel if they see fit. And they usually do. So I usually make no money on that show. But at least you can watch it, right? The fact that they blocked the entire thing for me watching this one segment, and it was like 5 minutes or something like that, or 7 minutes, something like that. That's ludicrous. It actually violates copyright law. But YouTube doesn't care. They just do whatever they want, and they bend over and they claim and take stuff down, even though it's not legal. All right? So, I had to edit out the segment, not only out of the archive stream, so those who were channel members could watch that stream right away, but the video later this week, when it comes out, the video is going to make no sense, because there's going to be big chunks missing in the video. It's just going to be skipping around of the parts that got claimed on YouTube. So there's nothing I can do about it. It sucks. It was very frustrating. But it is what it is, and those are now live. Well, the archive stream is live, and later this week, the other video that had issue is live. The way I do that show is once a day, a new video goes live for like 5 days, so that way it spaces out the content, okay? So, great React show yesterday. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed everyone's nominations. I'm looking forward to more horror-themed nominations. And by the way, if you're a member over on DSP Reacts, that's youtube.com/@DSP Reacts. That's the channel. If you're a member over there, the threads are open to nominate the videos for next week already. So you can get a head start on that if you're interested. Okay? Cool. Now, let's talk about last night. Because, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to tell you is actually probably shocking. Alright? Last night, I played the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 beta. I've been vocally critical of this game over the course of this year. Why? Because over the course of the year, data miners discovered that Modern Warfare 3 is literally Modern Warfare 2. It's the same game. They use the same coding. It's the same clients. It's literally the same game. It's just DLC. All they did is they updated it to tweak it and make it play better, new maps, things like that. But it's literally the same game. Okay? So, the fact that they decided they're going to sell Modern Warfare 3 next month for $70 plus tax is kind of ridiculous, don't you think? It's a game you've already played or had if you bought last year's Modern Warfare 2. It's just tweaked to be a little better or different, but it's still the same game. So why are they charging you $70 for a game you already own and or have already played? Because they're greedy. I mean, there's no other explanation. They just didn't bother to design a new game this year, but they're going to charge you $70 for essentially a DLC that maybe should be $20 at most. So, I have been very, very critical of this game all year long. And basically, I've balanced my criticism of the game with some fairness and curiosity. When they announced when there was going to be an open beta this weekend, I said, I'm going to give it a shot. I want to play this beta for myself and see if it's something that I'm interested in playing. Much like several years ago, if you remember, there was a beta for Call of Duty Vanguard. And I had no idea if I was going to want to play it or not. It didn't seem like it was going to be so good of a game. And I said, well, I'm going to judge it fairly. I'm going to get the beta, and I'm going to play it. And based on the beta, I'll make my decision if I want to get this game or not. The Vanguard beta was one of the worst betas I've ever played in my life. Not only was the gunplay buggy and full of issues, the graphics weren't even completed. There were blatant graphical issues in this beta that made it look like an absolute joke. The gameplay was terrible. It was slow-paced. It wasn't very good. And I was like, there's no way I'm buying this game. So I skipped it. I saved myself money and time because that was actually one of the worst received Call of Duties ever. Most people kind of just ignored it and dropped it and just kept playing Warzone all year. Okay? So, basically, the way I see it is this is a good opportunity for me to try it out and see, you know, again, maybe I'll have exactly the same experience that I had with Vanguard. Maybe not. Let's find out. So I played the beta last night, and I have some big observations to make. Number one, and I didn't realize this, they're calling it Modern Warfare 3, but you know what it actually is? It's Modern Warfare 2 Remake. Now you may say, wait, what? They just had Modern Warfare 2 last year. You're right, they did. But Modern Warfare 2 last year was not actually Modern Warfare 2 at all. When I say Modern Warfare 2, I'm thinking back to, what was it, 2009? The big release that year. You know, it was the sequel to Modern Warfare from 2007. It had the controversial campaign. Remember the No Russian mission. It had all these very iconic maps like Terminal and Rust. And, you know, I played the living crap out of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2009 when it was a new game. It was actually a game that I put a lot of content out about on my YouTube channels at the time. This was before I was doing this as a job. It was one of the games that got me into like online competitive FPS gaming at a time when I was becoming a prominent YouTuber. So, I actually really loved it. And if you don't know, some of the music I play to this day on my podcast, you know, pre-stream and all that, is from Modern Warfare 2. You got I Spawn, I Die, the dual shotties, that's me playing on Rust in the original Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. And then also there's quotes in there like have a burger bitch. That's a different map when you shoot a grill and it explodes. That should be in this game. The kill streak I go on in that song, which is can't stop, won't stop, don't know how to stop, and then they stopped me because I had a crazy kill streak. That was also on Terminal in the original Modern Warfare 2. So what's crazy about that is that, there's stuff that I have in my content related to the original Modern Warfare 2. That's how prominent it was back in the day for me and my content. And now here they are. They've actually remade it now, but they're calling it Modern Warfare 3. I don't know why. You figure it out. Why didn't they just do this last year? I have no idea. It's weird because now I kind of feel like last year's Modern Warfare 2 was just a waste of time. Like, last night, I was playing this game. And first of all, I was playing on PS5 and someone made a recommendation. They said, why don't you play this at 120 field of view? Because you're playing it on PS5, you should have the capability of doing that. So I did. I also turned on tactical sprint, which means you literally run full speed forever. And I'm playing it like this, and the game feels crazy full of adrenaline. Like, it's insane. It's like you're constantly moving at full speed. You're constantly, doing everything. It's wild how fast-paced the game is now. And the funny part about it is I'm playing on these maps, and I'm like, these feel so familiar. Because even though they're not exactly the same as the original maps from 2009, they're close. It's the base level design, and what they've done is they've added new corridors, new peeking spots, and, all these different ways to maneuver around the maps. So it's not exactly the same, but you feel that feeling of familiarity when you're playing this beta, right? And was it accurate all the time? No, it wasn't. And of course, when you're in the beta, you're just unlocking basic weapons. The best weapons are still locked. So I'm probably, I don't have attachments or anything unlocked for the weapon. So obviously I'm just flubbing it. It's not like this is going to be representative of what the gameplay will be in the end or anything like that. But I'm playing this beta, and at first I'm like, okay, we're back. Look how chaotic and weird and wild it is. And then as I start to remember the maps, I started to actually enjoy myself a bit. And I was like, whoa, like this actually is pretty darn fun because I feel so like nostalgic to me. I feel like I'm 14 years ago as an early YouTuber playing Modern Warfare 2 again as I play this. It's pretty insane. So I start to go crazy, of course. And, was I doing great? No. I was doing all right. I was usually in, like, the top 3 of the leaderboards when I was playing and stuff like that. So then, last match, okay, I go on a crazy kill streak. I unlock the highest level perk you can even get. The highest level kill streak you can get in the beta is Juggernaut. And I go Juggernaut mode. And Juggernaut mode in this game is ridiculous. So you become an insane monster tank, like the Hulk, okay? You have crazy armor. You have a shield, a riot shield. Now, apparently you can only either have the riot shield out or a shotgun. That's it. So I start charging at everybody. And I literally take out like 5 to 7 people as the Juggernaut, because they don't know what the hell's going on. They're shooting me, nothing works. One guy threw a drone. I deflected the drone with my riot shield. It was like, ba-ding. He was like, what the hell? I just kept crushing people with the shield, right? It's like, this is insane. I was like, it's fun as shit, though. Like, it's ridiculously overpowered. I think for a fact that's going to be a major problem in the real game. But I'm just having a ton of fun with this, right? So, by the way, I think I should call this out and be fair. Attendance last night was great. We had between 400 to 500 viewers on a random late night stream. I usually don't get that many. I'll get that for like a new release game during daytime streams. I almost never get that many viewers on a late stream. All right? People were talking and chatting it up and talking about the game. They were engaged. They were actually having a good time. That was great. All right? So, overall, attendance was good. People were engaged. I was enjoying the game. And I was shocked because I was like, this is just going to be Modern Warfare 2 from last year again. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think it was. I think this is what Modern Warfare 2 should have been last year. Like, it feels more fun, and it feels familiar to me, because I love the original Modern Warfare 2 so much that this kind of resonated with me. I almost feel like this game, this Modern Warfare 3, is meant as a way to lure in people from back in the day. people who used to like Call of Duty and haven't played it in ages, but now you're trying to tempt everyone to come back to play those maps that they love and they know from back in the day. Of course, there's going to be more modern elements and things like that, right? So I played it, and admittedly, I was surprised because I went into it with the mentality thinking this is going to be the same as last year's game, and it's not going to feel good, and I'm not going to want to play it anymore. And by the end of the night, I realized I had a ton of fun. I was like, dude, that last 2 hours, I had so much fun. And you want to know the truth? I wish I could have played longer. But I had to do a private React video last night for a patron. So I didn't have opportunity to go late or anything. I had to get out of here. And so I actually was like, wow, I'm shocked. I did not think I would have had that much fun playing this beta the way I did. Okay? Now, we also have to be transparent and honest in all ways. Did I enjoy it? I absolutely did. Did the viewers enjoy it? They certainly seemed to. But something happened that just wasn't correlating. And this I really need your feedback on today on the show. Was this a one-off night of bad luck? Was this a special circumstance? Or is this going to be par for the course? What do I mean? Last night's Call of Duty stream was the lowest supported stream that I've done in weeks, if not months. Okay? Basically, everyone was there to watch, but absolutely no one was really supporting the stream. We had a few super chats and one major tip of $10, and that was about it. So, even though I was having tons of fun and engaged, I was doing well, entertaining everyone with kill streaks and kind of going ham. I had a joke about 2 coffees and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. The support was terrible. Okay? Now, it could be many different factors, right? It was just one-off night. It's not a big deal, right? Maybe that's all it was. Maybe it was just a night where it just wasn't going to happen for whatever reason. It didn't matter what game I was going to play. It was just going to be a slow support night. And that's fine if that's the case. But if this is basically a way of people telling me, hey, we wanted to check it out to see what it was, and after watching you play it, we determined it's not anything special, therefore we're not going to support it because we don't want to see it to continue, right? Maybe that's what it was, and I don't know. You see, here's the thing. We are now in the midst of the busiest gaming season of the year. There's no way I can even play every single game that's out right now. I've even told you guys, like this coming week, I think I'm going to skip Lords of the Fallen to make room to finish other games and then play Lords of the Fallen in November when I'll have a lot more time to just focus on it. Modern Warfare 3 will be coming out November 10th. That's the same exact week as Like a Dragon Gaiden. That's the same exact week that I was planning on maybe starting Lords of the Fallen. Okay? So, the question here is, did people like it or not? And it's hard to read. I honestly don't know at this point because my philosophy has always been the following. If I am putting out content that I'm entertained when I'm making it, and I'm entertaining you guys through making it, then going hand in hand with that great experience is going to be support. If people like what they see, they're going to support it, correct? Last night, it seemed like all the feedback I was getting on that stream was, we like what we see. But then how is it the slowest supported stream in ages? It doesn't seem to make sense unless it was just one night of bad luck. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what was the message there, okay? So the question is, what do I do? All right? And I don't know, honestly, how to move forward. So here's the deal. I have the opportunity to play the beta again tomorrow. Okay, it runs today, tomorrow, and, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's a 3-day open beta, 8th through the 10th, okay? And so, what I'm debating is, should I play this again and give it a second shot? Because I had a lot of fun with it, and I'll be honest, I actually feel like I want to play it again. I liked it that much that I kind of want to play it again, all right? But, there's many factors involved here. Factor number 1, will I actually finish the Resident Evil 4 DLC and Lies of P today? If I do, then my schedule is free enough that I will have opportunity that I could do whatever I want on tomorrow night's late stream, including more of this beta, okay? But if I end up not finishing up one of those games today and I need more time, then I need Tuesday night stream for that. So really, the first thing is, I don't even know if I'm going to have a free stream to play this beta again, because I don't know how today's going to go. So directly dependent on how today goes will determine if I have the freedom to do what I want tomorrow. Let's assume I do finish both the Resident Evil 4 DLC and Lies of P today. If that's the case, then tomorrow's daytime stream will be Assassin's Creed Mirage, continuing on, which I'm excited for. I actually enjoyed the stream the other day. The game opened up. We're doing content in the order we want, so it's going really well, okay? And then, on Tuesday night, I will play the Modern Warfare 3 beta again. Okay? Fair enough? We'll see what happens, though. Now, Wednesday, the plan is more Assassin's Creed Mirage and Street Fighter 6 Master Ranked play. Yes, probably more Blanca. And we'll continue on with the crossplay off and see how I do exclusively against the PlayStation players this time. Okay? So there you go. Now, before people start saying ludicrous things, it's this simple. Because some people are saying, well, why don't you just play what you like, man? I don't get it. Why don't you just play what you like? Because I live in reality world. You know, I don't live in fantasy Candyland where everywhere I go, everything's free, and I have no responsibilities to anyone around me or myself or my family. I can just do whatever I want. That's not reality, okay? Just being honest. I wish it was. I wish in life you could do whatever the hell you wanted at all times and you were free. That's not reality, especially for those of us living an adult life, okay? When I make content, I have to be sure that it's content that people want to watch and will support, because I don't have paid sponsorships. I don't have product placements. I don't play games for money. No one's paying me to play any of the games that I'm playing right now. You understand? So I have to make sure the content I make will earn revenue. That's how my business works. So as much as I did enjoy the Modern Warfare 3 beta last night, and I'm telling you, I'm being transparent with you, I didn't expect that. I actually thought I would play it and be like, man, it's the same game. No, I genuinely had fun last night, and I felt that fire burn within me again of a competitive first-person shooter, and I was like, dude, these maps are fun. Like, I want to keep playing. But I can't just keep doing what I want when there's other games out there that I know will get support for my business and my family. All right? I'm just being honest here. There's enough games out right now that I could be playing other shit that's going to get support. And I have to do what's right, not just what I want. If I could do what I want, I would probably play a lot more games on here that don't do well. I love JRPGs. JRPGs are in my blood. I grew up playing them. They're kind of my almost bread and butter content for me. Whenever I dive into a really deep JRPG, I love them. I can't play them often. Why? They don't get a lot of attendance and they don't get a lot of support. I just played Chrono Trigger over the summer, and it was one of the slowest supported playthroughs I've ever done, but it was one of the most meaningful to me. You understand? But I have to balance that. I can't just do whatever I want. I'll go out of business overnight. I'm not a big-time streamer that's insulated by paid product placements and huge amounts of support from a giant, fan base of millions. I have to basically cater to what my fan base likes so that they'll support my content. You get it? So, yeah, I'm not at will to kind of do whatever I want all the time. As much as easy as it says, well, if he had true passion for what he did, he would just play what he loves. And I'd be out of business. I would lose everything. So, I have to be smart and savvy, as well as also trying to do what's right for the quality of the content, for me, enjoyment purposes, all of that. It's tricky. Trust me, I've been doing this for 15 years, and it's very tricky. You have to try to find that balance. You have to, okay? So, what can you do? So, that's what I'm thinking. So today, let's focus on Resident Evil 4. Let's focus on Lies of P. Let's see how it goes. If I beat both games, we have some freedom. And tomorrow, I'd like to do Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I'd like to do another night stream of the Modern Warfare 3 beta. It would be the last opportunity to play the beta before it goes offline, so I'd like to do that. Okay? There you go. Then, on Wednesday would be more Assassin's Creed Mirage and Street Fighter, and that's where we'll end it. But if I don't finish the games today, then I'm going to need tomorrow night's stream regardless to finish off what I don't finish. So, I'll be honest, I'm skeptical that I'm even going to finish the Resident Evil 4 DLC today. We're at the boss fight of Chapter 5, which is tough, and then we have 2 more chapters. That's a lot to finish in one 3-hour stream. I don't know why people said it was 5 hours long. It's not a 5-hour DLC. It's just not. Unless you completely rush through it, you don't read logs, you don't explore, there's no way that this is a 5-hour DLC. So, we'll see how it goes. Alright? So, let's play it by ear and let's see. But The other thing is, okay, I genuinely really enjoyed that beta, and now I don't know if I should get the game in November or not, because I was kind of leaning towards no. But if it really is Modern Warfare 2 remake, meaning the real Modern Warfare 2 remade into a modern game with crazy graphics, better gunplay, but it's the maps I love from back in the day, I mean, that could be an awesome nostalgic trip. Me going back and getting on kill streaks again. I spawn, I die, freaking out at that, right? But then also doing really well, you know, in the game and unlocking all the shit. Like, I think it could be great, you know? But I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm conflicted at this point, okay? So, I want feedback. What do you guys think? Maybe many of you are now watching that beta gameplay on demand, right, overnight, and you have feelings about it. Let me know the feelings, whether you tell me on a stream or you leave comments, you know, on the videos. I need your feedback. This is an important decision regarding the upcoming schedule. Call of Duty every year, it's sometimes it could be a big part of the content that I put out, right? So, I need input. It's funny because I'm making Johnny 5 references. Someone actually made a life-size replica of Johnny 5 from the Short Circuit movies, and it's fully functional. It talks and everything. It's because now the technology has advanced so much that you can do that realistically. You know, I'm sure back in the 80s when they made those movies, it probably cost them like $1 million to make it, and now you could probably make it for like, you know, thousands. So someone actually made it, and they're driving it around conventions and stuff and interacting. Remote control, he's talking to everyone. I'm like, oh my god. It's pretty insane, right? Anyway, so I really would like your feedback, guys. Please give it to me, all right? Outside of that, that's the schedule and everything going on for this week. Now, next week, I think it's in everyone's best interest that I don't play Lords of the Fallen next week. The reason being is there's no way that I could play Lords of the Fallen, finish Assassin's Creed Mirage, and then tackle the new releases of the next week in any kind of a reasonable fashion. If I start Lords of the Fallen next week, it's just going to disappoint everyone. I'm not going to be able to play enough of it. You're going to want more of it, and I'm not going to be able to because I have to finish the other games I'm playing to move on to other stuff. It doesn't make sense. Like I told you guys yesterday, Lords of the Fallen, much like Lies of P, is a game where once you start playing it, you want to play it a lot because it's very difficult, and you want to stay on top of your game when it comes to the systems and everything in it. And it makes more sense for me to start playing Lords of the Fallen when I have a distinct amount of time to invest in it. Okay? Right now, I don't have a distinct amount of time to invest in it. It would have to be juggled with so many other things. I don't think it would be done justice, nor would it be enjoyable for us. All right? So I think I'm going to delay it until November. I think what we'll do is there will be no new release on Friday. Instead, we'll focus on Assassin's Creed Mirage. We'll do some Street Fighter. I will actually do a couple late night streams of Starfield this coming week. For those who like Starfield and missed it this week, it will resume next week, a couple of streams. On Tuesday, the 17th, is the release of Sonic Superstars. Yes, I will start playing that. And then on Friday the 20th, it's the release of both Spider-Man 2 as well as Super Mario Wonder. Yes, I'll be playing those. The next new release at the end of the month will be Alan Wake 2. Yes, I'll be playing that. So all that stuff will happen this month. And then, once basically that stuff dies down. Hello, Jasper. Whoop, here he comes. Once all that stuff dies down, and we finish a lot of those playthroughs, then in November, I will start Lords of the Fallen, and we'll be able to focus in on it as the major focus and get through it and not have to have extended amounts of times between the streams. Okay? I think that's the best way to go about it. I hope you agree with me. If not, if you have a better suggestion, I'm all ears. But the way I see it is, no matter when I play Lords of the Fallen, Jasper, because it's a Soulsborne style game, people would like it. As opposed to, I feel like if I skip out on one of those big platformers, or if I skip out on Spider-Man 2 when it's new, and I decide to play those later, I think a lot of the hype will have died and people won't care as much about those games. You know, that's blah. That's my take anyway. So there you go. And now it's blah. And now it's funny because people are saying, well, what about RoboCop Rogue City? What about it? When was this game even on anyone's radar that anyone cared about it? Like, all of a sudden now I heard people say, oh, we're talking about RoboCop. RoboCop? Who the fuck was talking about RoboCop until, like, yesterday, right? I mean, you guys know what games are in my schedule that I'm interested in playing, and I've already told you guys I don't have time to play every game. So no, right now RoboCop is not even a consideration. Maybe if it comes out and it ends up being so groundbreakingly amazing, it blows everyone away and people want to see it, then we could consider it to figure out when to play it. But no, RoboCop is not in the cards right now. You know, we've gone through the schedule. You guys know what's the deal of the biggest games right now, right? So there you go. All right. So that's what I'm planning on doing soon. Outside of that, I do have a couple things I would like to talk about this morning. There's one news story and there's one suggestion from a viewer, and I'd like your take on those, and then we'll do shout outs and we'll wrap up the show. But first I have to deal with this guy right here, this rascal, this kitty. This kitty that wants my attention this morning. Ah, what are you doing, you silly kitty? What a silly guy. He wants to get all the attention on the stream. There you guys are getting a lot of Jasper this morning. A lot of Jasper shots. There you go. Enjoy the Jasper kitty. Very nice. Okay. So. Trying to focus. It's hard to focus with a cat on your lap like this. Let me tell you guys something. Alright. So. Excuse me. Okay. So, there is a suggestion from a viewer. And credit, shout out to Overpowered Boone, who's had a lot of good suggestions recently. He has a suggestion. I'd like to run it by all of you. Alright? I don't know how viable the suggestion is, but I'd like you to hear what his suggestion is. I have it in my phone, but I don't really have access to my phone right now for various reasons, as you can see. So I'm going to try to paraphrase it, alright? So every week, once a week, when I do my React Day, I basically do 3 completely separate streams. Here on DSP Gaming, this channel on YouTube, I do the Level 1 podcast. Then a message pops up and says, hey guys, head over to DSP Reacts for the clip show. And then you'll head over there. Then when that clip show ends, another pop-up appears and says, hey, head over to the stream for whatever game I'm playing that Sunday night. The reason that works is because I set up all those streams ahead of time, and I actually use, there's a word for it, I forget what it's called, but you could basically have them all overlap. So they all cross-promote each other. When one ends, it directs the viewers to the next one. When that one ends, it directs the viewers to the next one. And so on and so forth, okay? So basically that one day a week, you'll know, Jasper, say goodbye. We're going to go down to the floor now, okay? Okay. There we go. So, that one day a week, all of those streams are already preset up on the various channels. You know, the podcast and the gameplay night stream are set up here on DSP Gaming ahead of time, and the stream for the React show is set up ahead of time over on DSP React, okay? So, Overpowered Boone made an interesting suggestion, and I'm paraphrasing here. But he's basically like, you know, that one day a week is really useful. On your channels, all of those upcoming streams actually kind of show up, on your channel prominently. Like, they'll be right the first thing you see when you log into either DSP Gaming or DSP React. You see upcoming streams, and here they are with the time, and you even have the ability to click on it and it says notify me when the stream goes live. So you can actually ahead of time say I want a message or a pop-up or a reminder, and YouTube will send you a reminder to let you know the stream has gone live so you can catch it live and not miss it, okay? But you can only do that if the stream is already previously set up on YouTube. So here's what Overpowered Boone has suggested, and I'd like all of your feedback on this, okay? He suggested that I set up all of the streams for a week ahead of time early. So, for example, right now, I would set up today's stream for Resident Evil, tonight's stream for Lies of P, tomorrow's stream for Assassin's Creed Mirage, tomorrow night's stream for Modern Warfare 2 Beta, Wednesday's stream for Assassin's Creed Mirage, and Wednesday night's stream for Street Fighter 6 ranked gameplay. I'd have them all already set up. So now you know the schedule. If you just look at the channel page, you'll see all the streams lined up for the next 3 days, and you can click on the specific ones you're interested in order to be notified. All right? So Overpowered Boone says he feels like this would help in a couple different ways. Number one, you'd get notified for all the streams that you like, which you can't do right now. You know, you kind of have to just show up when the stream goes live. In this way, you'll get notifications ahead of time because you can click on the ones you want and you'll get those notifications. That's number one. Number two, this would be an easier way to follow my scheduling. Right now, how do you know what it is that I'm going to be doing on any of my content? Well, I post up a schedule every single night, once on the community tab here of this channel, last thing I do at night, and also on my X/Twitter feed at They Call Me DSP. I post it up at the same time and I make it my pinned post overnight. Now also, as you know, here on the Level 1 podcast every morning, I usually talk about what the schedule will be for the rest of the week. It's a segment of the show. So there's various ways you can find out my schedule every single day. Well, if I'm posting up all of my streams like this daily, or I say weekly, they'll be up so early you'll already know. You know, what's Phil doing this week? Check out the channel. All the streams are there. You shouldn't have any questions. All the streams are there. Click on the ones you're interested in. That's it, right? Now, the thing I see here, like those are the pros. The pros are you know the schedule ahead of time by looking at the channel rather than having to look around for the schedule, different tabs and stuff. And you can set up notifications. But what are the negatives? So I would say negative number one would be I don't know if setting up streams early shows up in subscriber feeds. I don't know how it works because I don't use them. If I were to set up 6, 8, 10 streams all at once, would you get a feed that says, oh, Phil set up 10 streams and they all ping your inbox? Would it annoy the living shit out of you? Or would you only get a notification when each stream goes live? I don't know how it works. All right, so that's question number one I want to propose to the viewers. Because the last thing I would want to do on top of all of the content that I'm already uploading is now to ping you even more with tons of these notifications of streams, right? Now, one person just said, no, it doesn't. It'll only show up in your live feed. Then another person says, yes, it does. It's annoying. So immediately I get conflicting data. So I can't answer. I don't know yet. I need more feedback than that because two people just contradicted each other in the chat. Okay? Great. So that's number one. It shows them all it's too much spam. Okay. So that's number one. I need answers on that. Number two. Okay? Here is the problem that I'm foreseeing. For example, we literally just talked about this a few minutes ago. I don't know how today's going to go. I don't know if we're going to finish the Resident Evil 4 DLC or Lies of P, or if we're going to end up needing another additional stream. I have no clue. Because of that, I can't accurately judge what we're doing tomorrow, right? Like, I know for a fact we will do Assassin's Creed Mirage, but I have no idea what the night stream is going to be. It could be the Modern Warfare 3 beta, or it could be one of either of the games that I didn't finish today. That's 3 options. What am I going to do? Set up a stream? TBD. Could be RE4, Lies of P, or Modern Warfare 3. What's the point, right? If you don't even know what you're going to be doing, then what's the point of even setting up the stream early? And, to be honest, I do feel like this would be the problem, setting up the streams ahead of time. On any given week, usually I at least know what I'm doing maybe 2-3 days. But that's about it. After a certain point, it's kind of like okay, we'll kind of adjust it on the fly. We'll determine it throughout the week what I'm going to be doing. And if I come up with that idea early, I'll put it into the schedule. But it's not always that consistent. You know what I mean? Especially with the way of gaming that I am, because I'm an interactive streamer. A lot of things people tell me I can't really trust. Perfect example here. People told me the Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways DLC was 5 hours long. We are 6 hours in. I'm facing the boss of Chapter 5, and there's still 2 more chapters to go. So it's not 5 hours long. It's only 5 hours long if you play it solo, you rush through it, you're not reading logs, you're not interacting with an audience, you're literally just playing right through it and easily beating it, right? That's not the case. I'll be playing hardcore, I'm interacting with the audience, I'm doing all the lore and everything. So, yeah, it takes much longer for me, you see? So I can't even trust or judge based off of what other people have told me on how long it would take to beat a game. So this is the thing I'm thinking, like, the only way I could even really do this reasonably would either be a week where I've already 100% predetermined the schedule early, or I could only do it for like 2 or 3 days out, tops, right? And then I would have to limit what I set up. So, I guess the question is, do you guys think there would be enough benefit to this, to setting up the streams early? Would you find it useful? Would you find it annoying? Do you think that if I don't know how it works with notifications, would notifications bother you to the point where you think it's more of a hassle than anything else and you wouldn't want it? I need feedback on this, all right? So please give me your feedback on this particular topic. Would you like to see streams set up early? How early? Is it annoying or not? Because based on what you guys tell me, I might either directly try to do this or not, all right? The thing is, yeah, it would be a little bit of extra work, but the work would all be front-loaded. By doing it all at once, then I wouldn't have to do it later, and it would actually save me some time later, maybe, right? I actually have some days where I can get out of this office on the earlier side, which would be nice, right? Uncle Eddie Baxter says, I don't think there's any benefit. Everyone knows your schedule already. Now, listen, you're right. Unlike quite a lot of other content creators and streamers, I'm incredibly consistent. You know what time the podcast starts, what time the first gameplay session starts, and what time my night session starts, because it's the same every day, right? So you know that. But what about newcomers? What about people who maybe just come by the channel and they're interested in my content and they don't even know what's coming out? They don't know to look on the community tab. They don't know to go to my Twitter. They just go to the main channel page, and what do they see? Tons of videos. And that's all they see. Now imagine they went to the main channel page. Oh, wait. So he's doing this stream then, this stream then, this stream then. Oh, I'm interested in this game. Let me click on that, and I'll check that one out later. Right? Comment Frenzy says, I think it would be very useful. Super easy to decide which streams to attend. Set them up at the start of the week or as early as possible. So there you go. All right, I don't know. 672 says, sometimes I'm late. Yeah, by what? 15 minutes, dude? Come on. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not hours and hours and hours late regularly. That's stupid what you just said. Especially because of your little buddy over there. You know who I'm talking about, who's very inconsistent. And you're going to tell me that I'm late. Time to look at yourself in the mirror, buddy. All right. Anyway. Let's see here. Dabian says, I like the stream to actually be live when it says. Sometimes we get here, it's 30 minutes of music before we start. It's so much wasted time every day. That has literally nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. I understand that. That's feedback. Thank you. That's not the topic. All right? It's completely unrelated. I'm trying to figure out if we're supposed to be setting streams up early. All right? That's what I need to know. Not, oh, I might be here and have music playing on the stream. I know. I said I do that on purpose because when you have the music playing for about 15, 20 minutes, it allows more people to file in. If I turn on the stream and immediately start, half the people will miss the beginning of the podcast. And that's why I have that lead in. Many, many streamers do this. It's a tactic that's used to build the audience and get people ready. It's very common. There's nothing wrong with it. I understand. Maybe it's a little annoying to you because you just want so much more content. But trust me, I do it for a good reason, and it's it works, okay? It's something I've done for years. Okay. All right. All right, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So that's, I need your feedback on that. Please let me know. And before we get to shout-outs and the like for today, all right, I have one interesting news story. So it is time for your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment, even the Skull's favorite segment, even Potion's favorite segment. It's time for Phil's day off. So yesterday was my day off. No, it wasn't. It's time for DSP News. And I have one news story today. All right, what is the story? Well, you may not have been aware of this, but Final Fantasy 16 had a 6-month exclusivity window on the PlayStation that ends in December. So what's funny is we're almost there, right? And people are wondering, hey, does this actually mean that Final Fantasy 16 in 2024 will show up on Xbox consoles? That'd be interesting, because that was one of the major criticisms when it came out, is that maybe they're shooting themselves in the foot by only having this be a PlayStation exclusive game. You need a PS5 or you can't play it, right? Well, guess what? even though the exclusivity window is ending, all right, here's the truth of the matter. All right, listen to this. Final Fantasy 16 will not be coming out on Xbox anywhere in the near future. According to a report by Games Radar, Final Fantasy 16 has a minimum 6-month exclusive contract with Sony, and it should be available, until December 31st, 2023, exclusively on PS5, but then that contract should expire. However, Sony has apparently been signing deals behind the scenes, clandestine, secret deals with many third-party video game developers. These deals, listen to this, prevent those developers from making games for Microsoft consoles. Specifically, Square Enix, the developer of Final Fantasy 16, will not be allowed to make that game on an Xbox platform unless Sony decides to change their policy. So, what they're basically saying then is, even though there's an exclusivity window, it's basically not really a window. It's just a permanent thing, right? Now, that's kind of confusing to me. Why even have the exclusivity window? What's the point of that? If Sony is signing these agreements, these behind-the-scenes agreements with third-party game developers stating, well, hey, you want us to prominently feature your game, we'll give you that big push or whatever, sign the deal with us, make the money on our console, but you can't be on Xbox, right? That's really not a 6-month exclusivity deal. That's just permanent. It will never be on Xbox, right? This would make a lot of sense. This is why we haven't heard anything from Square Enix regarding Final Fantasy 16 coming to other consoles in 2024. That would make a lot of sense why we haven't heard that. They're just not doing it. They don't care. But you know what gets me about the whole situation is, if it's real and if it's true, what's the difference between this and what Microsoft is attempting to do by buying Activision Blizzard, right? I mean, yeah, Sony doesn't own the third-party companies, but they've got these agreements in place that they can't make games for the competition anyway, which is, what's the difference between that and them outright owning it? Not much. I mean, they have less creative control, less control over what the companies are making, but still, to me, that just sounds ridiculous. Like, Sony is so up in arms about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. They've tried at every step to try to prevent it. They failed. It's going to go through at some point. There's just ridiculous amounts of different kind of roadblocks and things that keep popping up that seem to be holding up this deal over and over and over. But the deal will eventually go through. It's just kind of a matter of time. And the waiting of... I'll be honest, yes, waiting for this thing is annoying. That's how court systems work. Court systems are so outdated and ridiculous that it could take you years to get something from 5 years ago to finally get some kind of a resolution. It's ridiculously stupid, okay? So, yeah, this whole deal probably should have went through a year ago. But that's just how these court systems work, all right? But what gets me about the whole situation is Sony just was complaining nonstop about how Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard would be unfair competition. And you're like, yeah, but you're literally doing this with third-party companies at this very moment. You're paying them to not put out their games on Xbox. So what are you complaining about? You're complaining about your own practice. Right? So, I was wondering, when Final Fantasy 16 did become cross-platform, would it sell more? Would more people be talking about it? Because, man, that game, it got hyped for about 2 weeks, not even. And then people just stopped talking about it, dropped it like a hot rock, moved on to other stuff, and you don't hear anyone talking about Final Fantasy 16 anymore. That's a shame. This is a franchise that used to be synonymous with RPG greatness, and people just collectively have admitted, man, that game was just not as good as we thought it would be, especially when you had other games like Baldur's Gate, and now you've got Phantom Liberty and stuff. People are like, wow. In comparison, like night and day, better games, right? So, I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen here. But my observation is it's kind of hypocritical of Sony to be acting out against Activision Blizzard acquisition and things like that when they're literally doing this exact same practice on a daily basis with other companies, right? So there you go. All right. It is time for some shout-outs. All right? So, as you guys know, as I've already mentioned, I'm an independent dude. I don't have any product placements. I don't have any advertising for other companies. I don't get paid to play specific games, which is why you don't see me play 100 indie games you never heard of on the channel just to get a paycheck. I don't run many or any ads on my channel that I can help it. Usually I take like one ad break an entire stream. I do all this for a reason, all right? Because I want to put out the best content for you that's meaningful. I control the level of advertisement on my streams to be minimal. I hope that the truthfulness, the level of honesty about what I say about games and content that I put out is meaningful to you. And if you find this content, this curated content designed specifically for you as meaningful as such, I would hope that you would reciprocate and support said content. You know, I've been around for 15 years. A lot of my contemporaries have either faded into obscurity and they're gone, or they had to completely sell out. And I haven't had to do either of those things, thankfully, because of your support. So if you still enjoy what I do on a daily basis, right, please support it in one of the following ways. Liking the streams, liking the videos, engaging with the content, which means talking with me, leaving comments on the videos. That engagement is key. It brings more people to the channel, especially during this very busy gaming time of the year. So if you like the content, please support it. Please engage with it, okay? That's number one. Number two, things during live streams that you can do to support. Well, you can do a super chat or a super sticker. Both ways to contribute through the chat. You get a nice highlighted message. I'll give it a shout out. A membership or a gifted membership to the community. These are key to the success of the channel. And you get tons of benefits right now, including access to a ridiculous amount of emotes, the ability to nominate games at a priority level for the Halloween Marathon coming up, a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. You can ignore the slow mode rules of the chat. There's tons of benefits to being a channel member, okay? Sadly, we just lost a ton. Take a look. We lost like 50 members overnight. Apparently, there was a giant bomb of members last month. They expired. That definitely sets the channel back. So it'd be great today, if you're enjoying the content, if you could support the channel in some way. A great way would be to give some memberships to the community. There'll be a lot of people around who are willing to accept said memberships, and I'm sure they would appreciate them, okay? If you're watching on demand, you could always leave a super thanks on a video that's eligible. This is a highlighted comment with obviously some kind of monetary contribution attached to it. If I see a super thanks on a video, I always am sure to like it and thumbs it up, favorite it, and respond to it to say thank you. And then, of course, there's tips. Tips are direct contributions to my PayPal, and these help the stream in a big way. Number one, right now, I have to spend a ridiculous amount of money in the next couple of months on all these big new releases. This is the biggest, busiest time of the year for games. It's also the most expensive. So tips directly aid with that effort. Number two, tips I get right away. I can spend them on a new game or a bill or grocery shopping or whatever I need to spend it on immediately. So that's why tips are such a great way to contribute. Number three, I get the most out of tips as opposed to other methods of contribution, which are all still well and good. I get more of what you tip me than anything else because there's middlemen involved who all take a cut, and with tips, there's the least amount of stuff taken out. So again, it's another way to support this channel in a big way, and that's why, because tips are so important and prominent, I do special goals. For example, 50 bucks raised on a stream, put on Gunner glasses. At $100, you get to vote for a silly hat for me to wear. I have tons of them in that closet to choose from. At the top level, tier level, you could vote on a silly vest for me to wear. Here's the good news. The hot weather's done, finally. So now we should be moving forward all with cool weather, all right? And anything would be eligible. Any hat, any vest. It's not like, oh, it's so hot, I can't wear a nice vest anymore. I got to wear a light one. No, everything's eligible now moving forward, hopefully for the rest of the season. So that's good news, right? So please consider contributing, supporting the channel. Tipping is a great way to do it. Thanks in advance to anyone who supports. So here's my goals. My goal for the week was 650 members, but that's when I was at like 620 something. I don't really think we're going to get 75, 80 members by the end of the week. I'm just being honest. So I would like to maybe get it back to around 600 and then go from there. So please consider becoming a member or gifting some memberships. That's kind of my preliminary goal for the week. And then the other goal is every stream to try to hit the tier 1 tips goal. Last night, we did not do that, not even close with the Call of Duty stream. So it'll be great to get the momentum back today and start hitting those goals again. Thank you in advance to anyone who contributes in any way. Now let's do shout-outs. We start with Guitar Player doing the first super chat of the day. And he says, I played a match in Call of Duty beta. It's just Call of Duty. I mean, you're right. It is definitely modern Call of Duty, for sure. However, the reason that it really, interested me was because it was the maps that I remembered from back in the day, 14 years ago. Maps that I played the shit out of, that I got crazy kill streaks on, that I kind of love. Not to say that they're exactly the same, because they're definitely not. But I love those maps. I would love to play on them again, So that's really what attracted me to it. Jade re-upped his membership for a whopping 28 months at the Ultra Supporter level and said, hello, Jasper, with the Jasper emote. I'm sure Jasper appreciated that. Jade, thank you for your ongoing support. I appreciate that, sir. On the tip side of things today, we start off today with a $1 tip from Slayer. So he has a big message regarding the private react video that I filmed him last night. All right. That is not Slayer at all. I completely butchered that. Wow. That was not even close. Okay. So, Slayer says the following. I want to say I enjoyed your reaction to the Singapore foods that you reacted to last night. Yes, for those who don't know, every month, Slayer gets or purchases a private react video off of my Patreon. And if you're interested in doing something like that, you can check it out at patreon.com/darksidephil. It's $50, and for a $50 pledge, you get about a 20 to 30 minute private video. It could be Q&A where I answer your questions. It could be a react video. It could be whatever you want. Slayer actually buys like big ones. So this month he bought an hour-long react video, and he had me react to a lot of videos from that group Dancing Bacons, which is a group of content creators who taste all the food and do tourism content in Singapore. So first it was like 20 minutes of Singaporean snack foods. Then it was high-end restaurant food in the giant Singapore area, showing off all like the big hotel locations and things like that. And then there was another one. Actually, they went to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. And that was really interesting because I've never seen the food at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant before. So you actually got to see the food there. And basically, it was an hour long of me watching and reacting to all of that. Some really fun stuff. A lot of people like my takes on food. So you might enjoy it. All right. Anyway, he says he's going to send me an email to answer some of the questions I actually had during my own reactions. And he said he thought my reactions to some of the prices were quite hilarious. But he's curious about my thoughts about the whole video in general. And he says, by the way, that video is live on my channel for anyone who wants to watch it. So he has a YouTube channel where he uploads all my react. I've been doing these for this guy for a year. A lot of it's K-pop react stuff, but he's done more variety in the last few months. And this is probably one of the bigger variety things I've done for him, is this food and tourism video. Anyway, yeah, I mean, for example, there was a $430 seafood platter that they got. Now, admittedly, it was incredibly high-end seafood. It was like double lobsters, mussels, live oysters, clams, ginormous prawns, right? Tartar, like tuna tartar, salmon tartar, like crazy. And it was an insane tower of food, but it was $430. And 3 people ate it, so it was like, so each person's bill that day was like $150, right? It was absolutely insane. So that was wild. And then I was like, so they go to the Gordon Ramsay restaurant, right? And I was like, oh, Gordon Ramsay, I've always wanted to see his beef Wellington and try it, because you always see his beef Wellington on shows like Hell's Kitchen. But you wonder, what is it really when you eat it, and is it any good? So they ordered the beef Wellington, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's so cool. That's something that I would like to try one day myself. You know, me and my wife, and we go to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant and try his beef Wellington. And then they listed that the price was about $70. And I said, I think that I can skip the beef Wellington. I don't need to eat that. So, yeah, those are some of my reactions there for sure. I think you'll enjoy it. If you guys have never seen the stuff I do for Slayer, you should give it a look. It's quite entertaining stuff, and I think this video is quite good. So give it a look. It went live last night on his channel, all right? So thank you, Slayer, for the first tip of the day, and I look forward to the email with your answers on some of the questions I had about that food. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, I received a $10 tip from Dan the Man. He says, shout out to all of my ooses. Thank you to Dan the Man for the $10 tip. By the way, I was thinking about this last night. I had an idea. So bear with me. We're currently on the 9th of October. This month has 31 days. Here's what I'm thinking. About halfway through the month, I might switch up the animations. I might make it that the high-end animations that you guys have only seen like once this month, I'll make the low-end animations, and then flip these low-end animations to be the higher-end animations. Because you guys have seen a ton of Frankenphil, the Jurassic Park animation, and the Chucky animation. But you've only seen the Dracula animation once, and you've only seen the Beetlejuice animation once. And I feel like those are getting basically not used. And I don't like that because I think they're amazing animations. So I think around the middle of the month, like around the 15th-ish, I might flip them around, and then you'll see those more often. But you guys got to remind me, because if you don't remind me, I will forget. I know I will. So please remind me around the middle of the month about that. And I would like to maybe do that so you could see the other ones. Because the thing is, a lot of time and effort was put into making them. And it's kind of messed up. If we only get to see them like once or twice all month, that's kind of shitty. I would much rather have you guys see them than have them be unused, you see? So, there you go. Of course, if someone were to tip $50 or $100, we'd see those right now today, and that would be really, really cool because they're really good animations. But I don't know who said that. Who said that? I don't know who said that. Like a very creepy breeze, like a ghost on the wind, just blew into my mic and said something. I don't know who said that. It must have been the ghost of Ebenezer Scrooge saying that, right? Anyway, all right, so that's what I've got so far, and you didn't hear any. Oh, I had nothing. I didn't hear anything either. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear Jack Diddley, right? Twisted Resistor says, do I have my Halloween costume picked out? No, we're doing it this week. On my day off this week, my wife and I are going out. There's 2 Halloween stores in my area. We're going to go to both. We're going to find the best one. We're going to get it. So we're going to have the costume secured as of this week. You know, we were out 3 weeks ago, and we saw them early. There was a few that we had good ideas on, but we didn't do anything at that point. But we're going to get it secured this week, so that way I'm not in some big last-minute rush. So, there you go. All right, hello to everyone. Hello to Juan David. Hello to Broseph. Hello to Jade. Jade is saying he hit level 35 with Melina. Now he's working on Katana. And once again, he has to take a Benadryl for allergies, so he might not talk that much. That's all good, Jade. It's good to have you here. Jex Gaming says you should definitely play the beta again this week. It'll be on Xbox for you. There's going to be another map added. Oh, when is the Xbox beta? When is that? Maybe I'd be interested in doing that. If I can't, because I don't know if I can play it tomorrow or not, simply because I don't know what's going to happen with these games today. I might need that stream to finish the games. When is the Xbox beta? Hello, Bill. Hello, Good Game Ethan. Oh, my back. I'm feeling like stiff today. Have I ever made homemade fries? No. I don't have a fryer. I don't have a fryer. I wouldn't be able to make homemade French fries. Unless you're talking like frozen fries you bake in the oven. I mean, everyone's done that. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about this morning? We have a little bit of extra time. Sorry about the yawn. We have a little bit of extra time to discuss whatever you guys would like, whatever you're up to talk about. I'm going to try opening my blinds a little more because it's completely cloudy outside today like it's supposed to be. I want to see if if it screws up the lighting or not. Hold on. I don't think so. How's that? Now that's a little bright, huh? Yeah, darn. Too bright. Darn it. Because I wanted to get maximum light, or excuse me, maximum air, but yeah, look how bright it looks. Yeah, I gotta fix that. That's too bright. Go back to that. What a difference. Just a little bit of, you know, blocking the light makes. I mean, holy crap, it looks completely different. Okay. Dan the Man says, any thoughts on doing a GoFundMe to get a new PC? Okay, I've talked about this many times. All right, allow me to address it again. All right? I have no doubt that if I ever were to do a special fundraiser or a GoFundMe or whatever it may be, I probably wouldn't even do a GoFundMe. We'd just do like a special fundraiser stream or something, right? That if I did one, we would actually hit a goal and I'd be able to get a new PC. I'm 100% sure of it because you guys are so supportive. But I understand that you guys are not an endless well. You understand? Like, you're not a bottomless pit of financial, you know, support. I know that. You're normal people just like me, right? So, the thing is, I know that if I were to do that, what would end up happening is then support would probably be very slow and or dry up for like a month or two after. Because people already gave as much as they could for this PC and then we're stuck, right? That is kind of the endless problem with being crowdfunded like me, is that I understand that I have a limited amount of support that I can get from my viewer base. It's unfair to be asking for someone to completely empty their pockets so I can get a new PC. Here's the deal. If my PC broke, right, or was on its last legs, and I could no longer make content, and then I said, can you guys help me right now to figure this situation out because I'm desperate and we need help for it, that would make sense, right? But take a look. Like, in the last year, my content quality has gone up, correct? Like, the visuals are better. The lighting is better. The quality of the on-demand videos is better. The quality of the streams is better. Everything is better. Do we really need an upgrade right now? I would argue right now we're pretty good. Like, we can almost do everything that I would want to do. A few limitations here or there, but for the most part, we're good, right? Like, I'm not, like, a year or two ago, I was in a much worse position where it looked like everything was so falling apart and outdated, but now the things that were kind of falling apart have been fixed or replaced. The only roadblock is the PC. That's it. Like, everything else has kind of been dealt with, right? It's just the PC. Of course, that's the most expensive part. That's the biggest problem. But that's the thing. I wouldn't want to all of a sudden be like, so I've decided now is the time to get the new PC, everyone. Big marathon event going on. We're going to do it. It's going to be a big fundraiser to buy this new PC and all of that. You know, please be supportive or whatever. And then what happens is I get the new PC and it's great, but now no one can support, you know, the streams moving forward for like 2 months, and now I'm screwed. I can't make the money to pay my bills and stuff because I bought a PC. You understand? So I wouldn't want to do that. Plus, like I said, I would feel kind of like being, what's the word? Disingenuous. Like, right now I know I don't absolutely need it. Eventually I will, but right now I don't absolutely need it. So why am I going to ask that of my viewers if I don't really need it? You know, years ago, when I was in the midst of a bankruptcy, I had to do marathons frequently to make money, to pay bills, to get by. I don't want to go back there. I don't want anyone to make a correlation. Oh, God, Phil's going back to his old ways where every month he's running a marathon fundraiser with a goal and he tries to make all this money. That's really not the goal. That's not the point anymore. You see, when I do a marathon now, it's just for fun. That's it. It's just for fun. I don't even care what I make during a marathon. It's just to have a good time with you guys. I like that. I like the fact that I'm out of those darker times of my life and I'm not back in that situation. So if I were to do something like that, it would have to be for something really a concerning need, right? Because that's the thing. If you're constantly asking, and it becomes a constant, then it doesn't feel needed or special or important. correct? Like, you guys know daily, I have goals I set, things that I like to do. I don't have to hit them every day, but as long as in general support's coming in, that's great, right? But if I was here every single day, and if I was yelling and screaming about being upset because I didn't actually hit my goal, oh my God, I didn't hit my goal, how dare you, right? People wouldn't care anymore. They'd be like, what the fuck? What's your problem? This is all you're talking about constantly. I don't want to be like that. So my feeling is if I were to do a GoFundMe for a PC or whatever, people would say, he's gone back to his old ways. He's you know, doing these marathons asking for money again and shit, and we thought we were past that. And honestly, I feel like I am past that. I don't want to go back there. So I guess we'll have to see what happens, all right? The way I see it, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. So why push the problem at this point, you know? If it becomes a problem, if this PC is showing signs of that, it's on its way out now, you know, then yeah, then we'll probably do something. But all right now, I'm not seeing that, so. Okay. Jane really enjoyed watching me play Call of Duty yesterday. I'm glad to hear that. Damn, do you hear those birds outside? Those birds were going crazy. They're loud over there. Wonder what kind of birds those are. All right. Anyone else got questions that are rational rather than absolutely ridiculous over-the-top questions that are nowhere set in reality? Yeah, I don't know what kind of birds they are. They're very loud out there. Sounds like several of them talking to each other. Oh, I got this PC 2014. Yep. When I moved here, I had no intention of getting a new PC. My PC was still working. But then within a few months of moving here, all of a sudden my old PC was having problems. Like, it wasn't turning off properly. It was having, like, all kinds of issues. And I was nervous it was going to stop working. And I said, well, I already dumped an insane amount of money moving. I might as well just dump more and upgrade the whole setup. So I did. So it's a 9-year-old PC that I'm using right now. Yes, Juan, we're all aware it's 25 days to your birthday. You update us every day. Thank you. Do birds scare me? No, not really. Get DDP Yoga for my back. I have it. I bought it over a decade ago. It's sitting in my closet, and I can use it whenever I want. We found it during the closet cleanup event last summer. Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty, you nut. Do I think they will nerf damage in Street Fighter 6? I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do. Does Jasper attack birds? Yes, he jumps at the back door and pounces against it when birds are nearby or flying by. He absolutely wants to go after birds. Oh, Howard, I don't know the link to Slayer's channel. I make the content for him. I don't then go watch the content on his channel after the fact, so I don't actually know the address to his YouTube channel. I'm sure many others do, because people have watched it, had the stuff on there, but I don't know where it is. I don't have the link. Would I invest in a bird feeder? No, because we already had one. And it made an insane huge mess in the backyard. Every day there'd be like insane amounts of feed shells and shit all over the ground, and it was such a mess to clean up it was not worth it. It got really disgusting out there, actually. So what we do is, if we're gonna put, we just put like a bowl of shelled peanuts out there, and all the creatures come and eat it, and by the end of the day, all you got left is the bowl. That's it. No mess, because it's just peanuts. There's nothing, no pieces to be left. They eat them all. So that's the best way to go, in my opinion. The bird feeder with seed, that shit makes an insane mess. Yes, I did like Callisto Protocol a lot when it came out. It wasn't the best game ever, but it felt unique enough from Dead Space. It didn't feel like Dead Space. It looked like Dead Space, but it didn't play like Dead Space. So I actually really enjoyed it. While a lot of people hated it, I enjoyed it. Dan the Man has gifted a membership to Tyrone. Congrats, Tyrone, on the gifted membership. Be sure to thank Dan the Man. And Dan, thank you for allowing me to at least get some momentum here to get us back in the right direction. Because, man, losing those members sucks. It really does. When you get that momentum going for like the last month, we've been growing. And then all of a sudden, boom. Losing like 50 members sucks ass. So hopefully we can get those back. Hummingbirds are probably really cool. They certainly sound awesome, do they not? The premise of them having those long beaks, they suck nectar, and they're like constantly beating their wings like ultra fast, and they're really cool looking birds. Shovelmantastic, if you haven't noticed, you're literally the only person talking about Street Fighter 6 experiments and statistics. No one cares, which is why I'm kind of ignoring you. This is not a channel all about that. Apparently, that's what you're focused on right now. No one here today is talking about Street Fighter 6 or gives a shit. So, you can just give up. Alright? No one's going to talk about that today. Wrong day, wrong time. No one cares. Do I like Lies of P more than Elden Ring? Man, that's a tough question. Like, Lies of P is everything that I like about a FromSoft game. Right? It's hand designed. That every part of every level is interesting and intricate and fun. All the bosses are unique and interesting and different. There's not a lot of crazy repetition in the enemy types. That's like the best of what makes FromSoft games great, correct? Elden Ring's a great game. And it's got some really awesome things. Like, I actually think that some of the dungeons and things in Elden Ring are some of the best I've ever played that FromSoft has ever put out. At the same time, Elden Ring's just too long and has too much bloat. The open world is not fun by the last third of the game. It's just boring and tedious. So, it's kind of a mix for me. I really like Elden Ring, but I don't think it's the best thing that FromSoft ever did, honestly. While Lies of P tried to definitely do the best they could to try to be like what people want from FromSoft, even though they're not FromSoft. So, it's a tough decision to make, honestly. I love both games. Is there a surgery for postnasal drip? Not to my knowledge. There's nothing foolproof now. No. And by the way, unlike other surgeries, the surgery would be considered completely optional. Therefore, health insurance wouldn't even cover it. Okay? Like, for example, if I had a debilitating injury and I went to a doctor and I had to have a surgery to fix it, that's covered by health insurance, at least to some extent. But this would be something they consider, well, postnasal drip isn't something that ruins your life. It's not life-threatening. Therefore, you know, health insurance would never cover it. They would tell you, much like cosmetic surgery or dental surgery or things like that, oh, that's just cosmetic, so you have to pay for it, right? Well, I can't, you know? I can't pay for it. So, not much I can do. Couldn't I claim a message with my sleep? The thing is, it usually doesn't. Like, there'll be mornings when I wake up, and, like today, and it's like a faucet is running down the back of my throat, and my throat is completely full of gunk, and I'm like, oh my god. But I can still sleep. Like, it's not like I'm not getting sleep because of it. You know what I'm saying? So, again, unless it becomes a situation where my life is dramatically affected in a negative way, or it becomes life-threatening, and I can prove that to, say, a doctor that can then vouch for something, and you know what I mean? From what I'm going to understand, there is a surgery that people have used. It's not foolproof. It doesn't necessarily work for everyone. And so because of that, just off the bat, it probably wouldn't even be approved by, a fucking, health insurance board to say, oh, yeah, we'll pay for that surgery or whatever, Let's see here. Is Jasper sleeping right now? Oh, I just heard him walking around. I heard his bell jingling. So, no, I don't think that he's sleeping right now. Oh. Oh, here he is. There's Jasper Kitty. Hello. Hello. People asked where you were. People asked where was Jasper Kitty. Do you want to see the peoples? I found him. He was looking up the stairs at me, and he saw me and he ran up the stairs. And I said, Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty. Jasper Kitty, say something. Now he won't talk. He meowed to me in the hallway, but now he won't meow to me. There you go. You guys were dying to see Jasper again, huh? Jasper Kitty. So rarely talks in here. Why are you so camera shy? You love being on camera, but you won't talk in front of the camera. Why not? Jasper. Jasper's like the frog from Looney Tunes? Yeah, I guess so. He's insanely talkative, except when people are watching, then he won't talk. Ah! Your tail is in my face. How dare you put this tail in my face? How could you? I got to show. How dare you put this tail right here in my face? How could you do such a horrible thing? How could you do that? The kitty tail mustache. Turtles are not camera shy. Yeah, because turtles probably couldn't even be fast enough to move out of the way of the camera, right? Actually, I've seen some zippy turtles. I've seen some pretty fast turtles. Those are the water-based ones, right? Like tortoises are slow. Tortoises are land-based, while turtles can be pretty fast in the water. Jasper. Jasper Kitty. He won't talk. I give up. I tried. Oh, let's see here. No, I've never played a Rants game. I don't know what that is. I just got a $1.30 tip. Someone completely being insulting. Would you ever rebrand your underperforming React channel into a politics channel for the new year? No. First of all, what's hilarious is you say it's underperforming. On what scale are you judging that? Because you have to understand something, all right? Success is not based off of YouTube views. If that were the case, some of the dumbest people on the planet are successful. I don't even believe that. I just think, YouTube views is based on so many silly things that it doesn't matter. Views have never mattered to me whatsoever since the moment that my contract with Machinima changed from a view-based contract to an ad-based contract. You understand? I don't care about views at all. What I care about is people enjoying the content and supporting it. And they do. People enjoy and support the content on the React channel. I make a decent amount on a monthly basis on that channel for the one show a week I do. And every once in a while doing movie reviews, which, by the way, tonight I think I will review Halloween Kills. I think I should have time to do that later tonight. Just because you look at the videos like, oh, they only have a few hundred views. And? What's your point? I'm making a living doing this. You realize that, right? I make a whole full-time job out of this. Even though I don't have viral views. You understand how significant that is? How different that is from the formula that most YouTubers abide by. We must maximize the appeal from widespread viewers who just don't fucking care or could put a thought in anything they do because they rely on, they need that. I don't need that. I have people who love what I do and enjoy it and support it for what it is, not just because it's popular. You understand? In fact, I'm not popular, but I'm still successful. That's harder to do. Get it? But no, I don't want to do a politics channel right now at all. I'm not interested in it. Maybe someday in the future, but not right now. All right. Any last minute questions, or shall we adjourn? Because we have to get set up and get ready to continue on and finish Resident Evil here. Ugh. No? All right. We can adjourn. Sounds good. Good podcast today. Now remember, the two things I need feedback on. Number one, what did you think about Modern Warfare 3? Should I play the beta again? Should I get the final game? Why do you think the support was slow last night? I need feedback on all of that. That's all number one. Number two, thoughts about setting up streams ahead of time so that the schedule is kind of pre-known. There's pros and cons to doing that. I'd like to hear your feedback on both of those. So please, by all means, do give me your feedback on those. And that very well could influence how I do stuff moving forward. All right. But in the meantime, I would like to say thank you all so very much for chilling with me here on the podcast, and happy Halloween.